Welcome, ladies, to the Real Estate Investor Show, providing inspiration, strategies, and insight to empower women investors to live balanced and financially free lives. Now, here are your co-hosts, Liz and Andresa.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Liz.
And this is Andresa.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Investor Show, where we're focused on every week empowering women to live a financially free and balanced life. We are back with a mini-sode, right, Andresa? I'm going to be very quick and deep. We go brief, but we hit all the key pieces. What we're going to be talking about today, what I'm going to be talking about today is, should you change your focus in today's crazy economy? So that's what I'm going to be talking about today.
I love that. I want to know if I should or not. Should I stay or should I go?
Okay, Andresa, like you like to say, here's the deal. There's a lot happening in today's economy, and I'm going to kind of speak from it from a multifamily perspective. I was having a conversation with my husband the other day, and the focus for the business has really been buying large, value-add multifamily workforce housing, class C+-ish areas, up-and-coming areas. That's been our focus for many, many years. And we haven't, our team at Andresa hasn't done a deal in a year. We've been at best and final for countless opportunities, but the numbers just don't make sense on so many properties, literally for the last year. So obviously, you can't just keep doing the same thing and expect different results, right, Andresa? You and I, I'm sure I've done that plenty of times, but you have to shift things up. So I asked Matt a very, very important question that I asked him and I ask of us many times. And it was a very, very pivotal moments in our kind of history of together and investing. It's a question I asked in 2010 when we changed focuses to really go all in on small multifamily. And I said, Matt, where are you having success right now? So he paused and he said, I've been talking about wanting to raise money for a fund for a really long time, since COVID. And, just been involved in different things. And I think I'm ready. We're really ready to do this, because not just for multifamily, but to raise money in a fund where you can then lend it out to hard money partners and for the end user of maybe a flip or, just hard money lenders. So they'd be partnering with other folks out there, not just the people that are in need of the money. So he's like, this is something I've wanted to do a long time. I said, what's holding you back? And then we had this really great conversation. He's been talking about it with his team. It's not like I brought it up out of nowhere, but hearing him kind of get frustrated with some of the things that are happening in the economy, not economy, but just the crowdedness of multifamily, he really was then inspired to finally put this, and they're full steam ahead. The business plan's ready to go. What their kind of raise is going to look like. The success for my husband and the company is raising money. That's what you do well. And that's what he said. It's not just about a fund, but it's about raising money for people to get the returns that they deserve and that they want. So their money is put to work. That is a major frustration that's happening right now, right, Andresa? People's money's on the side. It's not doing anything for anyone.
Problem.
And that's a big problem. It's a big challenge. So, I wanted to share that story with you, or that situation with you, because so many times we can kind of get stuck, if you will. And really, it's not about looking outside yourself to something brand new that you never thought of. It's sometimes just tweaking what you're doing. So I had a few questions to share with you on today's mini-sode, and I'd love to get your thoughts. Well, before I do that, Andresa, thoughts, anything you want to share as well before I get into some of those?
I know that you asked that question, right? Where are we getting the most success out of it? And I think that it's a pivotal moment, because many times we go through life, when we go through our to-do list, and we don't focus on where we're getting the berries, meaning what is working, where I'm getting real success, not what the social media thinks I should be investing in, where I thought was a great idea at that moment. But what are the numbers telling me? What has been really working in this phase, right? In this phase. And I think that many people struggle with change or pivoting, because then they feel that they should have done it. Why didn't I freaking start it that way when 10 years ago? Well, because you had a different scenario, you had a different mindset.
Correct.
So I don't want women that are listening and the men that are listening to feel at this stage of my career, you're asking me to pivot, you're asking me to adjust, you're asking me to change. I don't know if I have in me, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what you are supposed to do. Maybe that's the journey. And we just need to embrace it and find like, okay, maybe that's what it got so bad in this area. So I can truly focus on the areas where I was already supposed to be doing it.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's so important. And that's where the process that I want to share with all of you are just some, some key questions to ask yourself that will help you reconnect. So number one, we're very big fans of encouraging you to reconnect with your long-term goals. Not just financial goals, but like, where do you want to be? Where do you really want to be in 5 years? Because the decisions today are either going to move us towards that vision or move us away from it. Simple as that. You can't stay stagnant, right? You're either growing or dying. There's no in between in life. It's really hard to stay stagnant because if you're stagnant, you're actually dying. So the key is to really look at those long-term goals, to revisit them. Where do you want to be? What are you doing? What does that lifestyle look like? Where are you spending your money? Where are you spending your time? Who are you spending it with? Right? That's very, very important. Number two, where have you had or are you having success today? Because when we focus on what's not working or deals are not getting accepted or it's an overcrowded market or our mind will give you all the reasons that things are not working. Our mind is amazing. It's an amazing tool that either works for you or works against you, right? So again, where have you had or having success today? And so again, example for my husband in the conversation, raising money is a superpower for my husband and their team. We have over 400 investors that trust and like us. And in 17 years, we've never lost people's money and made them money. That's a big deal. And that's not just boasting and pounding on my chest, but that's a big deal. We're very good stewards of money. So do more of that. The output is the difference, right? So again, that's where the success is. And then the next question is, how can you then use this skill, again, raising money as an example, to observe the masses and do the opposite? I probably say that a lot on our podcast, something that my father, Salvatore Randazzi, don't mess with him, said many moons ago, but it's really
So
good.
sweet. When you say that, I can't picture like, don't mess with him. He's so sweet.
He is a
I
sweet
had
man.
like, I always have thoughtful, like deeper, knowledgeable conversations. That's what I like. I can't see him like, don't mess with him, but he's
No,
so
I know.
sweet.
I know. I'm joking. He's like the tough and tender. That's where I got that from. He's a very tough and
Yes.
tender man. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. But his name is Salvatore Randazzi, and he is from Brooklyn. So for those from the East Coast, you know what I'm saying. But he said that, and it was a very powerful lesson I learned. But observe the masses and do the opposite. So in other words, if you're able to go all in and you're a flipper or you raise money, what can you raise money for that's different from other people or do something a little different in today's market, right? That's the key here. That's where the tweaking and the pivoting needs to happen. You don't need to literally overhaul your entire business, but what little change can you make in your strategy, right? That not everyone is going after right now, or there's an opportunity for. There's plenty of opportunity out there. It's just a matter of shifting our focus a little bit. And then the fourth question I'd ask you to kind of do some reflection on is what's holding you back from pursuing this idea? Because I wasn't the first one to tell Matt, hey, you really should think about this fund because he's literally been talking about it for 3 years. And he's talked about it with multiple people. Andresa knows he's talked about this. It's not like a secret. But what's holding people back? And I asked him that, and it's often ourselves. It's often our perception. And it's often just something new, right? And so the last question, the fifth question is, and how do you mitigate that risk powerfully? Because there's risk. As we grow, we pivot, we shift, there's going to be a risk. But you just want to mitigate it as much as you can and make it happen. So that's what I have for you today. I think in any economy, we can thrive, but we choose to thrive or not thrive. That's our choice. We have to think a little differently than other people and use what we have and then tweak it a bit basis the economy we're in. And if you do that, I just think people are going to win more in today's world versus, complaining about not having their deals accepted.
Yeah. And I think that that's the time where you need to tap into the resources and the experience of other people that you like, trust, and respect. Because if you're ruminating it for more than 6 months and it's still there, so there's something there that you like to accomplish, but there's a couple of pieces that you might not have seen it, that is clear, your blind spots. So sharing with other people and really tapping into other people's core genius. They might see something. They might be able to move the needle forward. That's the key to get unstuck.
Absolutely. And the part of that is sharing your challenges and issues in our Facebook community. We have a free Facebook community. So jump in there, share what's coming up for you. I'm thinking this, I'm ruminating about this, because once you share it and you get support, it's out of your head into your hand, and action starts to unfold. And that's why we created our Facebook community, right, Andresa? So playful out
Yeah.
there in our community.
Thanks so much for listening. Bye.
If you enjoyed this podcast and want to receive updates on our next interviews, go to our website, therealestateinvestor.com. There, you can subscribe to our show, become part of our investor community, and get updates on upcoming episodes.
If you like our show, please share it with other women who would benefit. And don't forget to leave us a rating on iTunes. We'd really appreciate it. And as always, we encourage you to take one action as a result of today's show and put it into motion so you can live both a financially free and balanced life. Thanks for spending time with us.
Ciao.